The film opens with Dr. Broom's recollection of wartime events, specifically 1944. The forces of Nazi Germany are making a desperate bid to turn the tide of the war by opening a gate to another dimension. Their goal is to summon ancient entities to Earth to create a new Eden on the planet. As they envision it, thanks to Grigory Rasputin's occult knowledge, his mystical ritual, and some science, they manage to succeed. But a squad of Americans stands in their way, which includes our main narrator, the young Dr. Broom. On the German side, the operation is monitored by Karl Ruprecht Kroner, Adolf Hitler's personal assassin. The opening of the portal attracts the attention of unearthly creatures. The American soldiers begin their assault. Karl Ruprecht proves to be a ruthless killing machine. Ordinary bullets do not harm him, and even a grenade blast is unable to stop him. A powerful explosion does manage to take the portal out of commission, and Grigory Rasputin is sucked into the resulting vortex. The Americans prematurely conclude that the threat has passed. While the gate was open, an unusual creature managed to enter our world. It was a baby, resembling a small devil. The soldiers prepare to open fire, but Professor Broom stops them, realizing that the creature poses no danger. Thus, he becomes the adoptive father of this unwelcome guest, whom they name Hellboy. The action shifts to the present day. A group of Rasputin's followers, including his immortal female companion and a heavily modified soldier, successfully bring him back to life. Meanwhile, a newcomer named Myers arrives at the headquarters of the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense for duty. Inside, he is greeted by Dr. Broom. He immediately meets Abe sapping an unusual, intelligent aquatic creature. The doctor escorts Myers to a massive, isolated containment chamber and leaves further explanations to his employee. That agent introduces the newcomer to Hellboy. He is already 60, but ages much slower than humans. Hellboy has a weakness for cigarettes, loves cats, and lifting dumbbells. Myers' job is to be his babysitter and make sure the Red One doesn't do anything foolish. That agent strictly warns him not to stare at his horns, which he constantly files down. But before they can properly get to know each other, an urgent call comes in. Disguised as a sanitation truck, the special squad team drives to the scene of the incident. Upon arrival, they are informed that a Type 5 creature has been detected. 6 guards have been killed, and they must eliminate the threat. They are met by DOC, who is the adoptive father of Red as everyone calls him. The father expresses his hurt to his son for having recently run off without permission. The doctor explains that the creature destroyed a statue of a saint meant to protect against demons. Hearing this, Red takes out rounds loaded with holy water. Blue Abe uses his abilities and senses an ancient, malevolent force behind the door. Red sets off on the hunt while the others wait for Abe to identify the adversary. Red easily finds the unwelcome guest and quickly neutralizes it. However, Abe, analyzing the data, declares that it is the Samael, the beast of resurrection. The monster revives and attacks again, throwing Red aside. Myers rushes to help and notices some kind of lava on Red's body. The pursuit of the monster begins, during which Myers barely avoids being hit by a car. But Red saves him and continues the chase. Hellboy finds himself on the tracks in front of a train, and then incinerates the monster. But it begins to regenerate and multiply. Red leaves the base again and does not return. He visits Liz Sherman, the woman he loves and who used to serve in their squad, at a psychiatric hospital. Meanwhile, Abe discovers traces of those who organized the incident and shows Doc how Rasputin and his minions bypassed security and summoned the Beast of Resurrection. Touching the professor, Abe senses that he is gravely ill, but he asks him not to tell Hellboy about it. Hellboy and Liz talk, and he asks her to come back. However, she is not ready due to the uncontrollable episodes of her pyrokinetic power, although she says she is better at controlling them now. At the end of their conversation, she asks him not to visit again. That night, Rasputin appears to Liz and provokes an episode, which causes her to ignite and blow up the entire hospital building. The next day, Myers arrives and takes Liz back to the bureau. Meanwhile, Red, Abe, and Agent find the lair of the undefeated monster. They plan to find and destroy its egg clutch. Abe, using his diving skills, goes off in search. On the surface, Red encounters Ruprecht and chases after him. An immortal creature attacks attacks Abe and wounds him, but he manages to escape. The people outside are less lucky. Red is also trapped and fights the monster again. The duel moves into the subway, and after a hard fight, Red emerges victorious. Most importantly, he saves cute kittens in the process. However, the agent luckily runs into the unkillable soldier. Bullets still don't affect Ruprecht. He acts swiftly and kills Hellboy's friend, after which he lies down next to him and dies. Upon arriving at the base, it turns out the agent is still alive, and Red is reprimanded by the bureau chief, Manning. He calls Red a monster, which infuriates him. "I demand that creature be locked up." Myers brings Liz back to the base, but everyone avoids Red, just as they avoid her. Later, Liz even goes out for coffee with Myers, which deeply upsets Hellboy. The professor examines Ruprecht's delivered body. Carl Ruprecht, born in 1897, constantly subjected his body to surgical procedures. He had his eyelids and lips removed. Blood has long ceased to flow through his veins. Shortly after the professor finishes the examination and begins studying the biography, Carl revives and retrieves his belongings. He descends to the professor, who is already waiting for Rasputin. He explains that everything that happened was part of his plan to lure Hellboy to Moscow and fulfill the ancient prophecy, and now all that remains is to take his father from him. Rasputin, as thanks to the professor for raising the demon, shows him a vision of the apocalypse, for which Hellboy will be responsible. Rasputin offers to tell the demon his true name, but the professor replies that he knows what to call him. "I call him son." The professor realizes he is powerless and accepts his fate. Hellboy, learning what happened to his father, arrives at the scene and hugs him one last time, after which he stops communicating with everyone. Manning plans an operation to travel to Moscow, to Cemetery No. 16. They have no other lead besides this one. Liz decides to support Red. He tells her he understands why she avoids him. She is ashamed in front of the outside world. And with Myers, she can be just like everyone else. But he promises her two important things: that he will always be faithful to her, and that I'll always be a handsome man. The group flies to Moscow. Arriving at the cemetery, Manning states that they will find nothing there and suggests splitting into groups to search for Rasputin's crypt. But Red replies that they need to ask for directions. He uses an old compass and finds a dead man willing to talk, after which he brings him back to life. Ivan points the way and leads them to the correct crypt. Inside, a trap-filled sanctuary awaits them. Splitting up, Hellboy stays with Manning, and together they find the room where Carl Ruprecht resides. He attacks them, and Hellboy fights him off. Against Red, the German proves not so formidable, and Hellboy finally deals with him. Liz and Myers find the creature's lair and prepare to blow it up. Hellboy breaks through to them and single-handedly begins destroying the crowd of monsters. Liz sees that Red is losing and asks Myers to hit her. She provokes her powers, and a fiery explosion incinerates everything around. Liz, Hellboy, and Myers lose consciousness. Rasputin takes advantage of this. He shackles Hellboy in stocks and places Liz on a slab. Rasputin and his companions show Red a pillar with openings that only Hellboy can open, for the prophecy to be fulfilled, but he refuses. Then Rasputin drains Liz's life force and demands he fulfill his destiny. Red succumbs to this trick and speaks his true name. He begins to transform into a demon, and his horns grow out. He opens the door, letting an otherworldly deity onto Earth. But Myers prevents the final lock from being opened and throws Red his father's cross. Red remembers who he truly is, breaks his horns, and kills Rasputin. But a new monster bursts out of him and grows to gigantic size. Red leads Liz and Myers away to save them. While he goes to fight the colossal squid, he defeats it and causes it to explode. Hellboy returns to Liz, and she regains consciousness. He confesses his feelings to her and admits he was a fool. Following this, they kiss, enveloped in the flames of love.